Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to use the test taking website that we have for our students. So you need to go to oas.ctb.com and you're going to enter your username and your password. And my username is just my first name and then an underscore and then my last name. And I would assume that most of yours were probably set up the same way. So you will enter that in, you will enter your password, and then you'll select login. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, when I see this little triangle here under Bendix Adult Education, I'm going to click on the triangle, and that's going to open up a drop-down menu here. And then I'm going to go to Groups and Manage Students. So I just hover over the word Groups, and then this little drop-down appears, and I hover over that until I get to Student List, and then I'm going to select that. Okay, and then I get a blank screen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reselect my site. So I push the triangle button and I find my site again. And as you can see, I've already got some students entered in here, but I'm going to show you how to create a new student now. And when you create a new student, you are only going to be creating a new student for people who are already in your program. So if you already have students who are taking tests for you and they've been doing it on paper, this is how you will get them in the system. You're just going to create a brand new person. So I'm going to push the plus button and I'm going to type in their first name. So Charlie is the name of my new student, and you'll give them a middle initial if they have one so that we can help further differentiate who we're dealing with. And then last name is Brown, so Charlie Brown. You're going to, from the drop down, select their date of birth. Okay, so select that. You are going to select for their grade, you're going to pick AD. You know, JV, we don't use that. We're all going to use AD. And then you are going to determine their gender and select male, female, or unknown. And then student ID, you can actually keep those blank because if you keep those blank, the system will randomly assign them a student ID and that will be sufficient. Okay, now these other drop-down menus, the only one you might be interested in is the specific accommodation menu. You can click on that just to look at it here. This would be if anybody had an IEP or anything like that, like an education plan. You probably won't see too many of those. So usually you're not going to have to click that drop-down menu there. You're just going to go back up to this triangle here under student information. Like I said, you've entered name. Try to include a middle initial if they have one, date of birth, AD for the grade, select the gender. You can leave the actual IDs blank. And then you want to go to your specific site. So I'm going to click on this little triangle. As you kind of notice here, anytime you see a triangle, that usually indicates if you click on it, you're going to get some more choices here. So I click on the triangle and I see all the sites that have been created. And I want to use Work 1 AM because I am Work 1 AM and Work 1 Afternoon. But this student's going to be assigned to the AM. You know, once your students are in, you can assign them to multiple groups, or if they go to more than one site, it's okay for them to be listed in multiple groups. But when you're creating a student for the first time, this is how you're going to select where they're going to be. Okay, and then you will hit save, and I'm not going to hit save here, so I'm going to exit out of there because I don't want to actually create a student named Charlie Brown. And when you do that, it should show up. You should have their name show up down here. You can see I have several that have already shown up. And remember, this adding a new student is what you are going to do only for the students that are currently here. All of the new students that are going through orientation, you should not have to do this for most of the time because they will already be put in the system during orientation. So the process I just showed you is only for students that are already with you. So hopefully you found that helpful, and in the next instructional video I will explain to you how to deal with students who have already been put into the system during orientation. Thank you.